the elder of Gastelum. Kennedy 2 inches taller and will have the reach advantage. With the official, the beautiful Brittany, Ariane, Chrissy, Vanessa, UFC 206. 5th time we have been in Toronto. Kennedy, Gastelum. Here we go. Green trunks for Kelvin Gastelum.
Most likely we try to stay on the outside with those kicks until he decides to close the distance and take the fight to the ground, because he knows Kelvin's best attributes are his boxing. You see Kelvin very light on his feet, and that's where I think Kelvin could present anybody with a problem.
Gears of War 4 for a limited time. Save $20 on Gears of War 4. The game Polygon calls the best looking game on Xbox One. Kennedy the aggressor here.
Kennedy landed a right hand there.
Ducks under.
And he gets the clinch. And this is where size and strength will play a big factor. Tim Kennedy with a knee to the body drags Kelvin to the ground. And Kennedy is a lead blanket when he gets a hold of you.
That's a great way to put it, Joe.
And he's an elite ground specialist, very good at controlling and submitting people, and loves sapping the strength out of you, loves a grinding fight. Takes particular, I mean, he's kneeing him in the ass there, very painful. And again, just riding him here. Absolute control,
and
power, strength. He's so physically strong. Got him fully flattened out here. Kelvin's in a lot of trouble here.
Really good start for Tim Kennedy in his return to the octagon. It's been a while.
And this style is the style that he used to defeat current UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping.
Yep.
Stay on top of him. Yeah, stay on top of him, smush him, control him on the ground.
That fight, Joe, was in Canada as well as in Quebec City.
And Kelvin here desperately wants to get back to his feet and get out of this. But it's going to be a struggle. Kelvin doesn't have any legs hooked in now. Now Tim's got one more hooked. Hard knee to the thigh.
And he gets the rotation of the hip to really deliver the solid knee strike. See him come around like that.
Where there's a difference between a real middleweight here and a guy, again, who should be competing at 170 pounds and who has competed at 170. Tim would have to chop off a leg to make 170. These are hard knees to the thigh here.
Tim Kennedy always seems to have an endless gas tank.
He also, you give him a situation where he feels like someone doesn't have discipline. And, you know, he called out Kelvin for being undisciplined and, you know, said a bunch of bad words about him and basically saying that he's lazy and that it's disrespectful to other professional fighters. That's the kind of guy that Tim Kennedy wants to punish. And that's
he's
what
doing
he's
it
doing
so far. Yeah, he's doing it big time.
These are hard driving shots with these knees, and Kelvin is in a bad situation where he can't get free.
Watch how he turns it over. See how he turns it over from that angle. Makes the impact that much harder.
And this is going to wear on Kelvin. I mean, Kennedy is making him carry around his weight. He's weighing on him. Oh, Kelvin got free. Nicely done. Beautiful explosion by Kelvin and spun out.
Gastelum needs to get something back here. He does.
And Kelvin tagged him with a left hand.
Kelvin right into an aggressive striking stance. They clinch.
But Kelvin on his feet is dangerous. Yeah. His boxing is outstanding, and that's what we were saying at the beginning of this fight, is I think he has an advantage in his footwork and his movement. And Tim's got his hands down, and he just got tagged there again.
Another clinch, but not for long.
See, out here, this is Kelvin's world.
Yep, this is what he
slides in with that jab. He's got a big advantage there.
Kennedy taking a look up at the screen. 40 seconds on the clock here in round one.
Tim Kennedy has a swollen right eye, Mike.
Throwing a lot of kicks.
Yeah, one of those punches from Kelvin has really put a big mouse under his right eye.
see it right here, Joe.
And Kelvin's targeting it. And he tagged him again.
Tim spun away, but didn't get hit. Final seconds of the round.
Wild punches, though, with his hands down. He just got tagged again and again. Tim's in trouble.
Into the round.
He got lit up. They're going to have to put the end swell.
All right, 10 minutes of deep control. Let's get that heart rate under 140. Slow everything down. That was great on the cooking him, but we're getting wide and kind of sloppy. I need you to settle down a little bit and start picking your shots a little bit. You see? Yeah. Just like slow down a little bit, pick your shots. Hit, lock them in.
I do not know why they're not putting the end swell on his eye. They're touching that swelling with a rag.
Stay tight this next round.
But he's got the end swell in his hand. I really don't understand that at all. And here you see Kelvin with a jab, Kelvin with a straight left. And this is what we suspected coming in this fight. Kelvin has an advantage with footwork, movement, and boxing. And Kennedy is getting lit up with his hands down.
Ready? Get up. Kennedy owned the early part of round one. Gastelum owned the latter part of round one. Heavy kick early. Kelvin wants to put together combinations, get in and get out, though. Doesn't want to grapple with Kennedy again.
And I don't think Kennedy wants to box with Kelvin.
Absolutely.
This is very interesting.
Styles make fights.
Well, now that he knows that Kelvin's lighting him up on his feet, let's see what Tim Kennedy does to try to mitigate that. Kelvin's a very good wrestler himself, and Kelvin defends the takedown nicely. And Kelvin spins and gets Tim Kennedy's back.
Now it's Gastelum who takes the back of his opponent.
And again, this is a guy who submitted Jake Ellenberger, who's got very good submission skills. The question is he going to be able to utilize those against a big, strong black belt like Tim Kennedy?
Picked last on the Ultimate Fighter, won at 21 years old.
Kennedy trying to grab a hold of one of the arms of Kelvin. Kelvin's not letting him. Kennedy wants to reverse his position somehow. He's got a hold of the single. Let's see if he can complete it. Back to the waist.
Now let's see if Tim can drag Gastelum back down to the mat.
Let's push his head down. Let's push his head down.
Push his head in. Don't let it behind.
Chance for Corey Kelly. Gastelum has spent time at King's MMA as well. Been with Chance for forever.
Kelvin turned him around and hit him with a combination. Beautiful right hook, left hand.
Tim's trying to dig in.
He's firing back, but there's a big difference in their boxing ability, and you're seeing it when Kelvin uncorks these combinations. Kelvin's more fluid, more efficient, faster. And this is the dangerous Kelvin Gastelum. Light on his feet, good footwork.
Midway point of the fight.
Good kick to the body there by Kelvin.
Gastelum.
Excellent combination by Gastelum, and a good job of avoiding that takedown. And Tim looks like he's moving in mud right now.
Yeah, Gastelum definitely dictating where this fight takes place. Couple of kicks now, a side kick, just to try to keep Kelvin off of him and stall this aggressive attack. Oh, well done, lead uppercut.
And there you see the difference in speed, but if Kennedy can do this, this is where he shines.
A lot of time remains here in the round.
But he's got to be able to drag him to the ground. Look at this. Kelvin reverses the position. Kelvin on top now. Kelvin turned it around on Kennedy.
Gastelum beat Nate Marquardt the last time he fought 185. It was a doctor stoppage.
Yeah, he beat him badly.
Yeah, he did. Mexico City.
But that was also a situation where, you know, he couldn't make the 170 weight. They made him fight 185. I mean, it's happened a couple of times now.
Yep.
If Kelvin could just get it together, he's so talented.
Under a minute now here in round 2. Kennedy, like you said,
he looks like he's moving
pace
through
is-
mud.
oh,
I mean,
yeah.
He's really exhausted here.
slowed down massively.
But he's also one of those guys that carries a tremendous amount of muscle. When you look at how big he is and how well built he is, I mean, that's great in the beginning of a fight. It's very difficult to maintain. He just got caught with a left hook. Kelvin cracked him there. It's very difficult to maintain a fast pace with that kind of build. On the ground, he can control the exchanges better. He can control the pace of things if he can stay on top. And that strength allows him to stay on top sometimes. But Kelvin has done a great job of mitigating that. Beautiful jab by Kelvin. Another jab.
Again,
1-2 by
combination.
Kelvin. Kennedy's hurt.
That lead uppercut connected. Big round for Gastelum. His striking is on point.
Yeah, that 1-2 stunned him. This is the speed and fluidity of Gastelum. Look at that. He faked with the left, came in with the right uppercut. Very beautiful and fluid. And there's that left hook. Caught him right in the jaw.
We know what he wants to do. He wants to counter you with his right. He wants to counter you with his right. And he wants to take you down. If we are moving, he can't do it. If we're moving, he can't do it.
Right, when he's closing the distance, push him away. He has no more
You look good,
strength
bud.
left
You look good.
unless he gets you right inside.
Show him who you are right now. Okay, do not let this guy take your money.
Show him who you are.
Tonight's Jittacam brought to you by Gears of War 4. For a limited time, save $20 on Gears of War 4. The game Polygon calls the best-looking game on Xbox One. Third and final round.
Kelvin Gastelum runs towards Tim Kennedy at the beginning of this round. I think he senses that Tim is slowing down. 1-2 by Kelvin. Looking for the neck, spins to the back. I'd be shocked if he decides to stay here, though. I think he's going to try to beat him up. Boom, boom, boom. Kelvin all over him here. Beautiful combinations by Kelvin.
Man, standing right in the pocket, Joe.
Goes for the high kick. Tim blocked it. Left hand. Left hand again.
Kennedy's got to find a way to get
Beautiful
the momentum
jab.
back,
Kennedy's
and it's not
stunned.
like that.
Kennedy's stunned. He's badly hurt. Kelvin just cracked him again. A lot of time left in this round.
Talked about the outstanding hands,
Look at
the
that
boxing, head kick.
Oh,
Gastelum.
man, he looks good. Beautiful combinations by Gastelum. He's
Kelvin
just picking
Gastelum
Kennedy
senses a
apart.
finish here, Joe.
He's just picking him apart. He's so smooth and fluid and doesn't look tired at all. I mean, Tim is on full-on survival mode here. But he's a survivor.
Absolutely.
To his credit, he's not a tougher man alive. He's getting beat up. But he's still there to try to win it. It's just whether or not his body's capable of it anymore.
Kelvin continues to stay right there in the pocket.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
The real question is, is he better off not cutting weight? Is he better at 185 pounds because he's a smaller guy? Because if you look at tonight's performance, it would seem to indicate that. We were thinking that he was a contender. Look at this. Beautiful
Combinations landed. It is all over. Kelvin Gastelum stops Tim Kennedy.
Stunning, and he really made it look easy. Just a tremendous performance by a young, talented kid, as we said, with his back against the wall. He needed to win this fight. The question is, Kelvin, when he doesn't cut weight, is he a better fighter? Is he better being a smaller guy? It's hard to say what was the factor tonight. Was it Tim Kennedy taking 2 years off? Tim just not being prepared for a guy like Kelvin? Who knows? But Kelvin Gastelum looked outstanding tonight.
Fight replay brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
Just the beautiful, fluid combinations of Kelvin Gastelum. There you see the high kick. There he moves in with that left hand. There's that beautiful jab. Just popped him with that jab and had Kennedy stunned. One to the body. I mean, Kennedy was a sitting duck. He looked exhausted. He looked like he was just overrun by lactic acid. Meanwhile, Gastelum looked loose and fast. Just a beautiful job by Kelvin Gastelum.
Took his time, picked them apart. Beautiful combinations. And the celebration in the corner of the youngest Ultimate Fighter winner ever.